Next, we're talking about sensory enrichment, and sensory enrichment includes all your dog's senses. So we have hearing, tasting, smelling, feeling, as well as seeing. So yeah, if you have like me, a deaf dog or a dog who's maybe vision impaired, then these senses might be slightly different because they have basically one sense less, but might overcompensate with another sense. I might actually add some bits of my deaf dog because I think it's quite interesting for some people maybe with a dog who is lacking one sense. But yeah, so generally sensory enrichment is everything that includes your dog's senses. And please do keep in mind that the categories are not necessarily clear cut, right? So sensory enrichment also obviously overlaps with a lot of other enrichment parts. So for example, going on a walk could be physical activity, physical exercise, as well as sensory enrichment, new sniffs, etc. So there's a lot of different things, or taste. If you try a new food, then this could be food enrichment as well as sensory enrichment, etc. So just wanted to add this in here, that they are obviously not all clear-cut categories. As with so many things we talk about in this course, it's of course very individual and tailored to your dog and also your dog's breed. So this here is no exception. Your dog breeds does matter, and the category of where your dog breeds is kind of like gives very often already a very good clue of what kind of senses your dog most likely likes to use most. So I give you a hint like sight hound, scent hound, etc. So this might be, something to keep in mind, as generally, I think I say this in basically every chapter. Your dog is a unique individual, and your dog's breed does matter. So really looking at your dog's breed, but also really looking at your dog, like the preferences, dislikes, likes, etc. So really to tailor everything down to your dog. One sense though that is very, very unique for all dogs, and maybe not as intense for certain breeds, but all dogs have a very good developed sense of smell compared to, for example, a human being. Sniffing really is important to your dog, and sniffing also makes such a big difference to your dog's life. I have included a whole list of over 30 enrichment ideas you can try when it comes to sensory enrichment, which is a download in this section. So there's way more ideas, but I want to talk specifically here about sniffing. Sniffing is basically a very easy, a very cheap way to make your dog happy. Just let them sniff. So sniffing is basically your doggy newspaper. Sniffing offers them plenty of valuable enriching information. So for them, they know what is going on, who has been here, etc. It's a fundamental need for your dog and is satisfying. So this is how your dog makes sense of the world, and also is a great mental enrichment exercise, which you can honestly just get for free, right? So you can tire your dog out, you can calm them down, you can just basically get a happy pooch for nothing, for free, right? By letting them sniff. So I have a whole chapter on this, decompression walks, safari, etc. in the lecture about dog walks and how to make them more fun or very easily enrich them. So there will be more on this as well. But the general message is let your dog sniff. Just do yourself a favor and your dog, and just let them sniff. I took this picture in the New Forest when we went on holidays, and I thought it quite nicely highlights how enriching it can be for our dogs to just go on a walk. And in this case, it was sorry if you hear them in the back, they're chewing a natural chew. So Chalky is my deaf dog, and so he's lacking smell, but obviously there's plenty of smells. And in this case, there is Black Forest Pony, so it's a horse. So I guess, having horses around for city dogs like mine is quite novelty, in its purest form, I guess. But even without the ponies, there's so much novelty if we take them on a walk. And this could be smells, this could be sights, this could be sounds, this could be texture, where they walk. It could also be tastes, if they maybe have a taste of fresh river water, if they maybe go into the river, if they eat fresh grass, basically anything. The sights change. So also if you go onto a car ride towards a new park, this is already enriching, or maybe even mentally tiring for your dog as well. So all these fast moving pictures of being in the car and having this speed which is way faster than your dog would usually be able to go. So this is something to not underestimate, how intense this work can be for our dogs. And you will probably very often see that if you're a dog on the way like to go somewhere, they are quite interested in looking out of the window and taking in the smells, or if you slow down, maybe also taking in the sniffs if you open the window a bit. And then when you did something like maybe go to the beach or go to the forest or whatever, like anything really, very often then on the way back they just sleep. They are satisfied then, they are happy then if they are good travelers. So yeah, just wanted to highlight how much novelty there is for our dogs, how much there is to take in, and how much there is to, explore on a daily basis, basically. So I mentioned this, just like Chalky is my deaf dog, he's the white one in the front of the picture. And for him, obviously, having the hearing loss or having no sense of hearing, this can influence other senses as well. I actually had this discussion this morning with someone in the park, the sense of balance or, sometimes dimensions. Often they might also be maybe visually impaired. So for him, he would, for example, take in the world visually and mainly via scent, and also orients on others. He has taught me to really slow down and, take things at your own pace. At the beginning, he was very, very shy, very, very scared, and he would just sit down and very intensely look around what is going on and really taking it all in until he was safe enough or felt safe enough to move. So he really did slow me down like so much, and I love him for this. So I think every dog is very unique, and every dog can teach us something as well. It's actually when we see how or understand how our dogs see the world, and when we let them go at their pace, it's very, very relaxing when we can follow their lead and also just practice mindfulness and maybe gratitude for what we are currently experiencing. Because one thing our dogs can do, teach us in a very lovely way, is to see the world with their eyes and with their senses and really live in the moment and be fully present in the moment. So yeah, I totally love this, and maybe your dog has taught you something too. And if your dog did, I would love to hear this. So please, drop me a line of what your dog has taught you. And for me, actually, every dog has taught me different things, but yeah, I think for me the biggest game changer really was the slowing down. Rambo did this actually because he was so overwhelmed when he arrived. But then Chucky was just next level, and if I ever tried to push him, he would like constantly just slow me down so much more. So yes, this was really a big one for me.